All right, guys, we're going through a walk through an Amazon rainforest today. Today's topic, we're going to talk about shaming and why women are kind of their own worst enemy, like women versus women. Also, why when women try to shame men, it's also kind of their own worst enemy too. A lot of things about shaming in this video. So, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, share this video out to more people. Let's grow the channel. Get this information, and this one is actually for men and women. Get this information out to both genders, because I think it might help some of them too, honestly. So, shaming in general, let's say. What is the goal of somebody trying to shame you? This goes for both genders. When somebody is trying to shame you, for example, when a man is shaming, like slut shaming, or when a woman is commitment shaming, what that is it's not a well, sometimes it's a tactic, but it's more like a resentful inner demon, like I want this, or I wish I could do this, or it goes against like a religious or ethical or moral code of some sort, and they're like, this goes against my ethics, you are a bad person. But the reason why they shame is because they wish they could do it. That's what it is, right? So when a man is slut shaming, like, oh, she's a 304, she's a hoe, whatever, he wishes he could do it, because he would do the exact same thing, right? He would bang as many people as possible if given the opportunity, right? When a woman commitment shames, a real man would put a ring on it. A real man would move in with me. A real man would buy me flowers on Valentine's Day, whatever. That one is a tactic to get what she wants, because you're not giving her what she wants, right? Now, step back for a second. That's just like an example of what shaming is. But why is shaming women's own worst enemy? Because what we know about women, and I'm kind of going through something similar right now, but what we know about women is if they don't respect their man, they lose attraction for him, right? Now, when a woman shames a man into getting what she wants, if he complies with the shaming, it's almost like an ultimatum. It's like a lesser ultimatum. Same kind of concept, though. It's like a real man would call me his girlfriend. A real man would put a ring on it. The problem is now, the reason why she's her own worst enemy was she kind of put herself and the man in a situation where if he complies with the shaming, she loses attraction for him because he complied. And then if he doesn't comply, he puts stress on the relationship over time. So either way, it's lose-lose. So when you employ shaming tactics in a relationship, it's lose-lose. It's basically kind of over at that point if the woman is starting to resort to that shit, right? Which is unfortunate. I don't think women understand that, right? I think when they try to shame men into getting what they want, I think they truly do believe that it's for the benefit of the relationship. I don't think they understand that they're doing it at the sole benefit of them at the expense of the man. So, again, you can flip that around to be like, well, a real woman that really loved me wouldn't need a ring and all that. You can just flip the script, right? But now, the more fascinating point of shaming is when women do it to other women. That's a fascinating one. which is also their own worst enemy. Like the sisters are against each other, right? So when a woman, let's say there's a, you all know the Karen types, right? Purple hair, kind of overweight. Why is it always you see those women shaming the beautiful ones for going on the boats or whatever? Now, another topic that I want to talk about in another video, I just thought of it, is a lot of these content creators in our like male improvement space, they don't live in reality land, man. I think they're all in like Vegas, Florida, and California. They're just in party cities, man. A lot of the things they talk about, I have not found to be my experience at all. Because I live in like Vancouver. It's still a liberal city, but it's not like dudes are taking chicks on yachts every weekend. Like that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. So anyway, save that for another video. But that's why a lot of their advice is kind of like super like niche for like really high status environments, right? But anyway, when a woman shames another woman, so the Karen is shaming the beautiful trad wife. On some level, the reason why that other woman is shaming the beautiful trad wife is because she wishes she could do it, right? The reason why men do the exact same thing, it's a sneaky tactic. When men shame other men, that's kind of like the same synonym as white knighting or simping. Simping a little bit different, but basically the concept there is the beta male's sexual strategy is to shame the alpha male to try and lower his value in the woman's eyes, which again does the exact opposite, where it increases his value in her eyes, right? It's dude, on no level does shaming work, right? We'll talk more about the men's side in a little bit. Let's go back to the women. So let's say you're dating a woman for a couple of years and she shames you into proposing. Okay, let's say you do propose. Her attraction drops a little bit, but that might be overshadowed by the joy, the in the moment joy of getting what she wants, right? Fine. Then she shames you into the marriage. Fine, she gets what she wants. Here is the colossal problem with the shaming strategy. After the marriage, there's nothing else for her to shame you into in order for her to feel the sense of progression. Okay, so here's a big key for you, okay? A woman only chases a sense of progression from a man she is not interested in, because the sense of progression itself is the value that he can provide. This goes back to the dating younger women versus older women, where when you date an older woman from like 27 to 37, they don't care what man they have. They only care about the goal they're trying to achieve. And the shaming is just one tactic that they use to achieve that goal at any cost, or any cost possible, right? So they hit 27, 28 or whatever. They find a guy, let's say, not Timmy, I don't know why, not Timmy, let's say they find Kevin or whatever, right? Just a regular old Kevin. Now Kevin is like a 5 out of 10. He's good enough. She's not sexually attracted to him. He's not a Chad at all. He makes just enough money. It's kind of like he's like an unaware, like, he's just an unaware guy. He doesn't know he has no idea the viper that's about to just bite him in the ass, right? He has no idea. So she shames him into eventual marriage. Now, this is kind of the same concept as when a woman latches onto a man's boat, right? Once the boat arrives at its destination, she hops off because there's nowhere else to go, right? So, a woman, she shames you into marriage, then you get to a point where it's like, well, now we have to live together. There might be one more level where she shames you into buying a bigger house, or she shames you into buying... How many guys do you know that are like this, right? In order to keep that woman, like, not happy, but in order to keep the woman there, I don't think they even know what a happy woman is, but just to keep her there, they comply with all these shaming tactics and ultimatums. So it's like, bigger house, nicer purse, bigger car. And then essentially, the value that that man is providing to her is the sense of progression towards her perceived goals, which also translates to Instagram pictures, right? So anyway, you can't, so the problem with that whole, I don't want to call it a sexual strategy, but the reason why that never works out is because eventually, the point I was trying to make was, eventually, you're going to hit a wall where you cannot provide her with a sense of progression anymore. You're going to hit a wall. Nobody can make infinite money forever. Like, eventually, she's going to get bored of consuming materialism, and she's going to want to go fuck that Chad again. So, hence the divorce rates, hence the chaos that ensues, and then she takes half your stuff. When really, and here's the crazy thing too about that whole scenario, you'll do all that for them, and they will hate you after for it. That's what I'm saying. Because every time you comply with a shaming tactic, they lose a little bit of respect, and they lose a little bit of attraction for you, right? Unconsciously, I don't think they know that they do. They just like get the ick every time you comply. It's like a subconscious ick that they get, right? Now, they get a subconscious ick every time you comply for like 5-10 years or whatever. By the end of it, you know what I think it actually is? I think, this is deep, but what I think it actually is they resent themselves for either settling or getting with a man that will comply, or getting with a man that they can control that easily, or the sudden realization that the man that they're with can't lead them. There's a lot of reasons there, but I think, or even, you know what it could be as well? The realization that shaming some guy into getting all this perceived progress wasn't actually what she wanted. It's what the world expected of her, or what her parents thought it was an injected idea. Kind of like their version of a midlife crisis, right? They hit 35 or whatever, 40. Then they're like, oh shit, I'm not with who I want to be. And I have all this stuff by just basically swindling this guy. So, what do we know about human behavior in general? Instead of taking responsibility for the actions that most humans make, they tend to villainize and blame outward towards something else. So, when the divorce or the breakup ends up happening, the guy is like, well, hell, I literally did everything you wanted me to. I complied I complied for the last 10 years. And she will hate you. She will resent you. She will, dude, you'll look into her eyes and you won't see a human being. You'll see the viper. You will see this monster. It's like, again, the reason why there's so much hatred there is because they don't want to admit to themselves that they wasted their own time by getting with the beta male. They make it your fault. You're not enough of a man. You should have known better. I don't feel the same way about you anymore. You're not the same guy that I was with, right? That's kind of like the whole death by 1,000 cuts or whatever. And then by the end of it, you're like, I didn't see this coming at all. I thought we were good. I got you the Ferrari last week, right? Man, it's such a trap. Shaming is such a trap, dude. Now, I think as a man, when a woman, you gotta pick up on this. It's very hard to change the frame once it starts. You can never comply to any shaming tactics ever. Never. Whether it comes from other men, it comes from women. As a woman, you shouldn't comply either, by the way. Just because all your friends are single and you're in a happy relationship, don't let your friend circle shame you into thinking that being a mother is somehow against feminism. Of course they're gonna shame you. Just remember, when somebody tries to shame you, they wish they could do it. Why else would they do it? Right? So we're gonna, this is how we're gonna wrap this. When somebody is just genuinely happy and secure with themselves, they will never attack another human being in any way, shape, or form, right? Alex Hormozy said this the best. A rich person will never shame a poor person for trying to make money. It's always poor people shaming other poor people, right? A fit person will never shame a fat person for being in the gym. It's always other fat people trying to hold you to crabs in a bucket, right? And a woman that is just, let's say that she was like an overweight purple-haired Karen. If she was happy just being a purple-haired overweight Karen, there would be no goal or point in shaming the trad wife that wants a family and saying she's setting them back. The reason why, again, what we know about women and men too, to be fair, the more people that you can convince into your reality, the more solidified your reality becomes. So if the purple-haired Karen can shame the trad wife into also becoming a purple-haired Karen, that just means that her path in life, the one that she selected, is the correct one. Now, personally speaking, I find shaming and, how do I word this? I find shaming and, like, I guess it's virtue signaling. To a certain degree, it's like virtue signaling. When somebody tries to actually tell me I'm doing something wrong, or they try to shame me into a different path of some sort, I get very irritated. Like that's for you guys that know me on the other channel, I get very, very irritated. I get that stuff all the time on my my tech channel. Constant beta males trying to shame me into change. Basically, again, they're trying to shame me into seeing what they want to see or do what they want to do to fit their narrative, right? And you know it's unfortunate because, well, I mean the vaccine was the, see, I don't even know if I can say that word, but that whole experiment was the largest shaming tactic in human history, right? What was all of the commercials about? If you don't get this, your grandma's gonna pass away. Nothing that made any logical sense whatsoever. You're a bad person if you don't do it. You are the same as the... Yeah, there's a lot of words I can't use, I guess, without getting shadow banned. But anyway, you get the gist of it. Now, here's the thing. If you go back to that time, if that damn shot just worked and there was no side effects and it was just like fine, if everything was just fine, they wouldn't have had to shame you into getting it, would they? The person who is happy and correct never has to shame. So you will never see me shame anybody for anything. Because why would I? What's the goal in shaming? I'm happy in my own reality. So you as a person watching this video, your goal, if you are a shamer, ask yourself, why am I trying to shame this other person? What do they have that I'm jealous about? You gotta be honest with yourself on this. What do they have that I'm jealous about? What are they saying that's triggering me? Here's the other thing too. A person that's just happy with themselves never shames. They also never get triggered either when somebody tries to shame them, right? The reason why I get triggered is because it's more of like a ethical thing for me, where I feel like every human on this earth should just be free to do whatever they want within the boundaries of the law, obviously. But if this girl wants to be a hoe or whatever, let her. Who cares? That just benefits men. If this girl wants to be a trad wife, let her. It just benefits men, right? Everything is good. Like nothing bad happens no matter what you say, right? If you're a fat guy and you're shaming your buddy for trying to get into shape, what does that say about you, man? If you are shaming a woman, so the reason why this happens a lot from men going to women, I'm sure you've seen this a million times before. When a man really likes a girl and he invests, it's kind of like the reverse situation that we just talked about. He reverse invests into this woman, buys her like 4 or 5 dates, spends a lot of money, finds out she's banging Chad behind the dumpster, right? I don't know why it's always a dumpster, but she's banging Chad behind the dumpster, right? And he gets this extreme sense and desire to shame that woman into being a slut, right? Now, it's not the right approach. Because what's the goal in shaming? I wish I was the Chad. Of course you do. Otherwise, why would you be shaming? If you just truly enjoyed that woman's company and you just truly enjoyed paying for her time or her dates or whatever, and that you found out that she was banging Chad behind the dumpster, If you were happy with yourself, you'd be like, on to the next one. Like, it wouldn't affect you. Because here's the thing. Let's say you do shame her. What would never work though, but let's just say, play devil's advocate. You shame her into being with you somehow. She still bangs Chad behind your back. You're still gonna resent her forever. Like, it doesn't, like, the shaming in general is fascinating to me, because no matter, when you begin to shame somebody else, it doesn't actually end up accomplishing anything in the long run anyway. Even if you get what you want, even if you don't get what you want, you just lose. So just don't shame people, just don't do it. Anyway, that's the gist on shaming. Don't do it. It's not, what's the goal, right? What you should do is you should be like, why did she bang the Chad behind the dumpster and not me? What can I learn from this? If somebody tries to, you see your buddy trying to make money and he starts making money, what can I learn from him? Don't bring him down to your level. Be happy for your friends. They try to lose weight. What can I do to bring him down and shame him? On the flip side, here's how we'll close off the video. On the flip side, if you are a person that is constantly being shamed by others, it means you're on the right track. Funny enough, if you are being constantly shamed by your friends, family, social media, for just being yourself, dude, you know how much shaming I get for just being myself? It's ludicrous, dude. It's ludicrous. So, when you are the one being shamed, this is for men, not for women. This is not what I mean for women. There's a lot more gray area when it comes to women and stuff, right? There's always a little bit of, you might not want to stack up 100 body count in one weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you do you, but if you get shamed for that one, like Bonnie Blue or whatever, when she banged 1,000 dudes, like, you know, I ain't gonna shame the girl, but it's also not my problem. That shit ain't my problem, right? But anyway, usually speaking though, without the extreme circumstances, if you are the one that's constantly being shamed, it's usually a signal that you're on the right track. It stems from jealousy, right? So if all your friends and family are shaming you for not eating cake at dinner because you're trying to lose weight, you gotta try and rewire your brain to be like, I am making them uncomfortable with my success. That's how you reframe it. You should be proud of yourself when you get shamed by others. All right, guys. So hit the subscribe button. See you in the next one. Scroll the channel. Leave a comment down below if you want to have a discussion. I will reply to them once a week when I have time. And I will see you guys. Also, pop by my text stream. It's a text stream, but pop by if you want to. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.